Yes.
Were you on the streets
Doing well.
with your palm fronds?
My goodness. That was years ago.
Well, I kind of miss those days, you know.
We did that when we were teenagers. Then I used to attend. Then I used to go to the Church of Pentecost.
Okay.
Yes, at the time. So yes, I did that. Then when I left for the Methodist Church, I never did that when I went to the Methodist Church. No, because then I'd gone to secondary school. Yes, I didn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that usually the children are the ones that are on the streets
it's
these
nice,
days.
I mean, well, I was in the Volta region over the weekend, so I was getting close to a place that I saw in one of the rural churches, palm fronds and everything, and I said, "Oh, it's Palm Sunday." And I wasn't actually realized it was Palm Sunday. I didn't know.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, we still do this." I didn't know. Did you go with your palm, whatever?
No, I didn't. Times have changed, but a few people do it.
But in the rural areas, it's still done.
Oh, wow.
Yes, in the rural areas, they do it. I mean, I was around Dropong yesterday, and I saw it.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw it. The kids were very excited. I'm waiting for the Sunday, the Resurrection Day. When we were young, we used to do FOA, as in FOS, like he's risen, And
okay.
You go around, you're excited,
Oh, nice.
Dawn. I don't know how it's going to be like. A lot of things have changed these days. We have all become scared of one another. We have walled all our homes, and
That's
living in. I don't know. Well, I was going to say we're living like we're living in a prison. I mean, everybody's walled his house, and you can't go anywhere. In the past it was fun.
It was fun.
Today, your children cannot play with any other. With children in the neighborhood, all they do is to go to school and make some friends, and they come home and they are confined in that four walls, and that's the end of it.
Times have really changed.
Well, Daryl, listen to this and tell me what country this is. Now, this is something that is happening.
Why are you putting me through this?
I've been telling you about how they're having a lot of conversations about the nation, even the party, and I'm asking, why can't we do same? So even when our political parties meet, the conversations about the country and its development and not how to win the next election. But listen to this country, because this country featured in Rwanda. Listen.
That, for example, a country in West Africa, please no names, which was the first one to go to the IMF and begin general economic reforms, is back to the IMF today. Please no names. Why? A combination of domestic indiscipline, macroeconomic indiscipline, and these external shocks. So as a result, they have lost what I call political space, fiscal space, policy space. The decisions they're now implementing are not their decisions. Why? Because during the days when things were very good, they did all the wrong things. They ticked all the wrong boxes. Massive borrowing, for example. Massive spending. Huge levels of the deficit. Without building the resilience for when the days will be difficult. I can think now of about 14 countries in Africa who are in that phase. So the first thing I think our message we're passing is that restoring that degree of economic independence begins by economic discipline.
Which country is this?
That surely sounds like Ghana to me, and it's. I don't want to use the word heartbreaking, but we're a bad example for Rwanda.
But is this the former AFDB president? I mean, the head of the AFDB, Dr. Kaberuka, making this point of a country in West Africa, which is back to the IMF, and we tick all the boxes that they're talking about. We tick all the boxes that you're talking about. Okay.
Massive borrowing.
Yes, and we never built the resilience for a day like this. And so, whenever we make those comments about, we're doing well until COVID, if your economy was resilient, you wouldn't have experienced the kind of shocks we experienced.
Yeah.
We never built a resilient economy, unfortunately. Well, there you have it. So
there you have it.
Yeah, that's why we'll talk about all of these things. Yes, you want to make a point?
No. I was just going to say that I was listening to the clips you played during the intro of how the Rwandans are thinking around how they can strengthen their economy and be a better country. And I think that there's so much to learn. I mean, when it comes to democracy, we don't look up to Rwanda, but whatever they are doing is working for them right now. And everybody seems to, when we talk about Africa, everybody seems to talk about Rwanda. So I think we need to learn some things from them.
We will talk about all of these here on the Super Morning Show. Thank you very much, Daryl. Now, time for the Joy Business Report with Daryl, Kwawu, and the team.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to the Joy Business Report. Coming up, some oil marketing companies reduce prices of petroleum products at the pumps. Kwawu selling petrol at 12 cedis 65 pesos, diesel going for 12 cedis 84 pesos. We'll tell you more. Also, interest rates rise marginally as government secures more than 21% of its latest treasury bill sale to the tune of 1.62 billion cedis, and Bank of Ghana to keep policy rate on hold at 30.5% in 2024. We hear from Fish Solutions. Stay with us. Brand new month, brand new week. Thanks for being with us. My name is Daryl Kwawu. First up, some oil marketing companies have begun reviewing prices of petroleum products at the pumps. Today, the expected price reduction should have commenced on Saturday over the weekend. Now, Kwawu has taken the lead, selling a litre of petrol at 12 cedis 65 pesos, diesel going for 12 cedis 84 pesos. Also, Star Oil is selling a litre of petrol at 11 cedis 69 pesos, whilst diesel going for 12 cedis 69 pesos. Now, the adjustment shows that petrol has gone down by a little over 2%, whilst diesel has been reviewed by almost 5%. It is expected that more OMCs would adjust their prices downwards today. Meanwhile, the Chamber of Bulk Oil Distribution Companies is projecting more reduction in fuel prices in the coming weeks, as if the Ghana cedi remains fairly stable against the dollar, and the price of crude oil also remains stable on the international market. Dr. Patrick Ofori is Chief Executive of the Chamber.
If international prices keeps on falling, definitely it will reflect at the pump. And also, if the Ghana cedi continue to gain some strength, as we've seen in the few days, if it continues like that, then we all can be guaranteed that our pump prices are going to see some form of reduction. And this is where we want people to know that none of the key players within the market is happy or interested when the prices are up, because at least it gives all of us some form of a breathing space for us to be able to move our products.
You heard Dr. Patrick Ofori, who is Chief Executive of the Bulk Oil Distribution Companies. Let's turn to the commodity market this morning. Crude oil going up by almost $4, trading at $83 a barrel. Gold is going for $1,952 an ounce after losing more than $16. Cocoa went up by $16, selling this morning at $2,933 a ton. Now, interest rates rose marginally on the treasury market as government secured more than 21% from its latest auction. The increase in interest rates was expected due to the hike in the policy rate by the Bank of Ghana to 29.5%. Here's more in this report.
Interest rates inched up as the central bank increased its base lending rate to banks last Monday to check the high inflation. However, some market watchers argue that the cost of borrowing, which is lower than the yield on treasury bills, could force investors to prioritize foreign currency investments. Both the 91-day and the 182-day T-bills went up marginally by 0.51 and 0.42 percentage points respectively. Meanwhile, the government obtained 1.62 billion cedis from the T-bills auction. About 1.25 billion cedis of the bids came from the 91-day bills, with about 1.24 billion cedis accepted. For the 182-day T-bill, the bids were estimated at about 367 million cedis. A little above 355 million cedis were, however, accepted.
All right, so interest rates going up because of the hike in the policy rate to 29.5%. Fish Solutions has predicted that the Bank of Ghana will keep the policy rate on hold at 30.5% in 2024. This is coming after the central bank adjusted its key lending rate last week. Here's more in this Business Desk report.
Fish Solutions said while inflation will moderate further in 2024, it's unlikely the Bank of Ghana will start easing monetary policy. Indeed, under an expected International Monetary Fund program, the central bank will likely be encouraged to keep the policy rate elevated to strengthen its monetary policy framework. Furthermore, the return of positive real interest rates will result in more capital inflows, mitigating risk to Ghana's external position. It forecasts inflation to average 37.6% in 2023. As such, it believes that policymakers will remain focused on controlling price growth in the near term as they aim for a more substantial disinflation trajectory before concluding the tightening cycle.
Meanwhile, financial analyst Courage Buti is predicting low funds for the private sector in the financial market due to the Bank of Ghana's decision to increase the policy rate to 29.5%. Speaking to Joy Business, Mr. Buti said the increase in banks' reserve ratio is also a setback to lending to the private sector, a move that will hurt expansion of businesses.
A policy rate and the fact that we've actually reversed a 2% reduction on the cash reserve ratio from 12% now back to the 14% it was, it would further tighten liquidity levels on the domestic market, which means that government agenda to suppress or depress yields on T-bills probably might not see a lot of reduction in the coming auctions, really.
You had Courage Buti, the research lead at GCB Capital. Government will now be turning its attention to its external creditors to try and close a deal with respect to restructuring Ghana's debts. The government secured money to secure Parliament's approval for 3 key revenue measures needed to close a deal for the country. Here's George Yaffe with more.
The approvals of these 3 key revenue measures didn't come easy, as it was characterized by some serious exchanges, forcing the Speaker at one point in time to suspend sitting. However, the majority caucus managed to use their numbers to push through these taxes after some agreements were reached. According to government, these taxes are part of the preconditions that are needed before it can go to the IMF board for approval of Ghana's economic program. So with these taxes passed, it is now left with government to finalize an agreement with the Bank of Ghana when it comes to the Memorandum of Understanding for zero financing of government's budget deficit for this year. The Finance Ministry claims to now be focusing its attention on finalizing negotiations with external creditors, including China, so it can seek an IMF Executive Board approval for Ghana's economic program in the second quarter of this year. But for some businesses, the real test is whether government will be able to achieve projected revenue from these bills that has been passed by Parliament.
George Yaffe with that report. Meanwhile, some businesses have hinted that they might be forced to avoid paying taxes should government press ahead to introduce them. Mark Bedu-Abuaje is Chief Executive of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
Lessons are there for them when it comes to the e-levy. Businesses will find a way to avoid the taxes. And the revenue, the 4 billion revenue that they are looking for, they will not get it. It will end up killing businesses. They should withdraw this tax, come to the table, have engagement with businesses. Let's find the best way forward. Otherwise, if they force and introduce it, we also teach them lessons. The lesson is that they will not get the revenue. The lesson is that businesses are going to collapse. The lesson is that they are going to lay off people. And the lesson is that in the long run, the economy will suffer. Let's strengthen the private sector. That's what we are saying. Make a lot of profit and pay taxes.
Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mark Bedu-Abuaje. Now, Facility Manager for Atlantic Mall Ghana, Angelina Asante, has promised to support in the provision of jobs for Ghanaian youth. According to her, the newly constructed mall will employ more Ghanaians to support economic growth. Speaking to Joy Business at the launch of the mall at Atomic Junction in Accra, she revealed the company will position itself to invest in other sectors of the economy.
We are excited to bring a new level of convenience and accessibility to the people of Accra and North Lagos. With this new shopping mall, it is our hope that it will not only be a place to shop, but also a place to dine, a place to gather, connect, and create memories with family and friends. As you walk through the doors of this shopping mall, you'll be greeted by a world-class shopping experience.
Angelina Asante, Facility Manager for Atlantic Mall Ghana. Now let's turn to the stock market. There is an expected mixed performance on the Ghana Stock Exchange this week. Let's hear from Grace Monayum of Data Bank Research on how your investments will fare.
The stock market indices plunged last week as losses in 3 equities outweighed gains in 3 equities. Benso Oil Palm Plantation led the wheat gainers by 1 cedi 6 pesos to close at 11 cedi 67 pesos. Unilever Ghana gained 40 pesos to end the week's trading at 4 cedis, whereas Trust Bank Gambia advanced by 2 pesos to 82 pesos. Conversely, Farm Milk shed 21 pesos to 1 cedi 29 pesos, whereas MTN Ghana and Societe Generale lost 5 pesos and 4 pesos respectively. Additionally, New Gold shaved 5 cedis 7 pesos to 299 Ghana cedis. Based on the bid offer dynamics on the market, we tip Gold Ghana to make gains this week while we forecast a decline in SIC's share price. For Joy Business Report, Grace Monanyun of Databank Research.
Thank you, Grace. Let's check the currency market as we head out. The dollar going for 12 cedis 18 pesos on the forex or retail market. The pound selling at 14 cedis 85 pesos, and the euro going for 12 cedis 88 pesos. More news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Daryl Kwawu. Thanks for listening. The Super Morning Show continues with Winston, who is right here with me.
Kwawu.
Yes, sir.
How's the city doing?
12:18 this morning.
Oh, okay. I went to a forest bureau that was actually selling at 11